Friday, and we are live in living color. Welcome to another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling, where we interview special guests each and every week from different walks of life in the reselling world. Here we'll discuss the highs and lows of reselling and dive into great conversation. We are positive you're going to hear something that is going to help you become a better reseller. I'm your host, Ray, and I am not joined with my co-host as of yet, Dustin. He is MIA. Last that I did speak to him earlier in the day, and last that I saw him, he was stuffing his face with fried chicken. So he might be in a chicken-induced coma at the moment. But guys, today's going to be awesome. We have none other than KayWay Shop, Wayne and Kayla, on today's podcast. So guys, how are you doing? Good to see you guys. Glad that you guys can jump on.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Mm-hmm. So for the people that may not know you, Wayne, Kayla, with Kayla's amazing choice of wardrobe here, you know, with the Tennessee Titans two-tone blue all the way. But Wayne is it's almost as good as the Titans two-tone. He is sporting the Kuji Sweater. Now, you become a little bit of a Kuji fan, right, Wayne?
Yeah. So the backstory behind that is it's one of the like bolo like top items I've been looking for in thrift stores. And a month ago, I found one. It's actually not this one. It's the one that's hanging up. It's behind the light box. You can't see it. But I found one at a thrift store, and I got it home, and I put it on. I'm like, I actually kind of like these things. Like, I just wanted to find one to sell it. But then I got it, and I was like, man, I actually kind of like these things. So that sparked a little Kuji obsession, and now I've been buying them ever since for like the last month. I think I'm up to 5, and I have 2 more on the way. So we're gonna make this full bloom a Kuji.
Dang. Okay. Now, for the people who may not know what a Kuji sweater is, Wayne, tell us a little bit about it. Like, why are they? They're expensive, first of all. They're one of the bolos, like you said. They're made in Australia. I believe all of them are made in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. And they're just, I don't think one's, it's like a fingerprint, right? They're all slightly different.
Yeah, they're all woven different. They're like an older brand. Biggie made them popular in one of his songs. You saw him in the Cosby Show a lot. He was wearing a lot of the sweaters, but I just like them. Just like you said, they're like a fingerprint. Not everyone looks different. And like one thing I've noticed when I put them on, I'm on TikTok live. Like as soon as somebody sees me wearing the sweater, I feel like my views go up because people just stay in the live. They're like, "What is this guy wearing? Like, we got to know about it. Let's ask him." And
yeah,
I don't know. I really like them. So just started collecting them. Like I said, it was one of the items I was like on the hunt for at thrift stores, and I found one. And I just fell in love with it.
So the initial first find of obsession, Wayne, did you get a good deal on it? Did you pay up?
I paid up. So I actually made a TikTok. It's on Reels, YouTube Shorts, all that good stuff. But I found one. It was at a thrift store I go to, and that's the one I actually do my lives at, Red, White, and Blue. And behind the counter, they have just high price items, like all the items that are worth a ton of money, and they know it because they look them up. So I saw it behind the counter. It was actually after my live. I wish I would have caught it on my live, but I did make a TikTok about it, picking it up. I did pay $100 for it. It was $200, but the color tag was half off. So paid up for it, but that sweater should be worth somewhere between $200 and $300. So if I wanted to flip it, I could make money on it, but I like it too much, so we're going to keep it.
There you go. So Wayne, for the people, I know we're already talking reselling here, and we're diving right in, but for the people that may not know you, and there's a lot of people in the chat, your followers, your fans, the KayWay fans. What do you call a KayWay fan?
I don't have a name for them. They're
you don't have a name.
Like the community, a KayWay community.
The community. We need like a KayWay fan name. So the people that are here in the comments, you put it down there. What are your suggestions? You know how they have like I don't know, what do they call them, like Justin Bieber fans? Don't they call them like something? Bieber,
they call them believers, right? Believers.
Yeah. So we need a KayWay fan nickname.
I already get ragged on for my end saying on all my videos, and when I say that's the KayWay, my sister rags on me for that. She's like, "That's so corny. Why do you say it?" But it sticks. That's the whole point. It sticks. That's why we do it.
It sticks, exactly. And then when you don't say it, people are gonna be like, "Why didn't you say the thing? Where's the thing at?"
It's starting to catch on too, because other creators are starting to use it at the end of the video. I just did a video right before I went live for Buried Treasure. I kind of stitched his video, and at the end of his, he found a Tommy Bahama shirt, and at the end he said, "That's the KayWay." So I had to stitch his video, but it's starting to stick. It's starting to move around a little bit. It's
branding, baby. It's branding. Exactly. I love it. I love it. But for the people that may not know you, Wayne, Kayla, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, you guys are a family. You're a reselling couple. How did you get started? Why did you get started? And how long have you been reselling? You're reselling full time, I believe. And you know, the social media stuff has blown up. You know, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I started this business as KayWay Shop, and the reason I named it that is because my name is Wayne and my wife's name is Kayla. So you take the first 3 letters out of both of our name, you come up with KayWay. And I just threw shop at the end because obviously we're selling online, so it's kind of like a shop. So I started. Let's go before I started selling. I was a mailman, and I was working 2 jobs at the time to save up to buy a house. So I was working overnight at Target, like in the morning, and then I would drive to work, drive to the post office after that. So I was working like 12, 13, 14-hour days. I saved up enough to get the house. What's up, Dustin?
What's up?
Dustin coming in hot, you know, coming in hot. Dustin, this is Wayne and Kayla. They're both Tennessee Titans fans.
Yes, 100%.
Like to see it.
Actually,
love to see it.
We got a little.
Oh, Wayne is stripping down. Oh,
Titans
there we go.
Underneath. I had to throw it on.
You go.
There you go. Dustin, we're going to have a wardrobe change, Bubba.
Yep. Michael's getting put down right now, so that's a negative.
Okay, because your jersey's in his room.
Exactly.
We know all about that. My jerseys are in our room too, and our baby's in our room, so I 100% get that.
There you go. So, KayWay, let's get back to you're a mailman. The man is working hard here, Dustin. He's working 2 jobs. Mailman by day, Target employee by night, saving up to buy a home, and you did it.
Yep, I did it. And then, so I quit the Target job as soon as I got the house because there's no reason for that. That's the whole purpose I was doing that is to save up for the house. So once I got done with that, I was at work, and now I had all this spare time. I was able to work overtime at the post office, but my mind is always, I want to find something else to do to make money. So I went down the YouTube rabbit hole, and I was looking for passive income ideas. So I was just scrolling through YouTube, and I hit on stocks, and I thought stocks was going to be it. I was trying to learn as much as I could, but stocks didn't feel like work. It was just, you know, I was investing in something, but there was no like, the more hard I work, the more I get in a return. So after a while, and in 2018, if you look at the stock market, it was pretty stagnant. So after that, I went back to YouTube. I went down the YouTube rabbit hole, and I stumbled across a Rally Roots video, and that changed the whole thing. At first I was like, no way, these people aren't going to Goodwill buying items and reselling them online. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But then I kept watching their videos, and then I did research on their store. I could see them actually selling items. And then from there, we went to Goodwill, and we spent, I think it was $100 the first time we went to Goodwill. We listed some items from the house first. We went to Goodwill, spent $100. I picked up Tommy for your mommy. I picked up North Face for your face, everything they were saying in their videos. And I listed it, and it started to sell. And that sparked, this reselling journey. And from there, I just grew the business because I didn't need to take any money out because I had a full-time job. I was able to roll everything back into the business for like the first 2.5 years. And after that, that's when I started taking out of the business. We paid off both of our cars. We paid off our student loan. This was all before I went full-time. And the last thing I really wanted to do was pay off the house, but it just got to the point where the post office just wasn't working for me. And I was making more money doing this. So I was like, okay, it's time to make a change and become my own boss and start my reselling journey. And as soon as I did that, that's when I really started diving into social media and posting on TikTok and YouTube and all those other sites. And it grew into what we are today.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's great.
So, Wayne, what was were you a mailman? Were you delivering mail? Were you sorting mail? Were you working at the post office? What was the job title, if you will?
Yeah, so I was a mail carrier. I am in the Tampa Bay area, so I was working in St. Pete, and we have what they call park and loop routes. So that means you park at the end of the street, you get out, you carry all your mail down the street, delivered door to door, because in St. Pete, they don't have mailboxes on the street, they have them by the door. So it doesn't make sense to have the mailman drive to every door. You have to get out and walk the route. So I was walking 15 up to 20 miles, sometimes 25 miles a day, with a satchel on my back, mail in my hands, all that good stuff. Then I went to a curbside route, which is what you normally think of as a mailman driving from, mailbox to mailbox. But it eventually got so bad on my back. I actually have a slip disc in my neck. And at that point, that's when I knew the post office really wasn't for me. And that was strictly from, doing the sitting in the truck and going side to side movement all day. It's really, really bad for your body. And that's what got me.
Okay. Wow. Man, I didn't even know there were still postmen that went door to door delivering mail. Well, I guess you don't have a mailbox.
Just think in the Florida heat in the middle of summer when it's like 120, when the humidity feels like 120, it actually felt cooler when you walked inside the truck when the truck is locked up completely than it did when you're outside the truck. It's like it's horrible. But
or like Florida weather when it's raining and downpouring every afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man. Well, Wayne, it sounds like you made the right decision.
I think I did.
Going full time and, paying off all your student debt and paying off your cars. And just, that's the thing that people, I tell people, you need to just try it and then just pay off some bills, bring down that student debt down, pay off those cars. And you'll be surprised how quickly you can do it if you really put your mind to it. And just like anything else, you get out what you put in, and it looks like you've been putting in a lot of work, and that's why you're so successful as a full-time reseller.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the people that are thinking about doing this, you don't need to be full-time. You can just, like you said, do it on the side, pay off a couple bills. If you like, stay your job, but if you spend time like watching TV and doing other things that make sense of money, you should be looking into a way to make your money, like reselling. It takes time, it takes a lot of effort. I really enjoy doing it.
There you go. So Wayne, we want to say we do want to take a minute and say hi to the people in the chat. You're Wayne, KayWay. I'm trying to think of a name. By the end of this, we're gonna think of a name, Wayne. So stay tuned. So we do want to say hi to all the people that support you in the chat. And guys, people in the chat, let me know if you have any questions for Wayne. Maybe you want to know what his favorite lunch is, maybe his favorite movie, or his favorite band, his first concert he went to when he was a kid. Let us know. Put it down in the comments. But let's say hi to some people in the chat. We have our boy Felix is in the building. Good to see you, Felix. Felix is on TikTok, so check out Felix. And we have TMA Colin 420. Good to see you. We have Trisha, one of our favorites. I believe it's Trisha, right?
Yeah, we love Trisha.
We love Trisha. Good to see you, Trisha. Glad you can stop by. And we have T-Mac again. And then we have Turtle Cam is in the building. Sunrise Listings in the building. Jennifer K is in the building. Good to see you, Jennifer K. And Trisha saying, been waiting on this since last year. Elbow cough. Well, I'm glad you are here, Trisha. This should be a pretty good time. And Turtle saying, LOL, I came to watch a month ago. He's here. They're here, man. I missed it all. And let's go. Lee Jean Huntley. Good to see you. And then we have Amy says, hi, Stephanie. Just saying hi to a lot of people in the chat. It's like a TikTok folks all over on YouTube. I love it. Jags won. I don't think they won.
Jags fan. You just
they did.
He's a Jags fan.
I didn't know she was a Jaguars fan. That's interesting.
She wasn't a Jaguars fan until about, a month ago when we started actually winning. And then we started hearing her chirp a little bit.
Oh, that sounds like a Jaguars fan, right, Dustin?
Yes, it does.
All day
long. Christopher Nutter was wrong. He was worried about you, Dustin. He's saying, where is your brother tonight, Dustin?
I'm glad to know that someone cares about me.
Yeah, people, we're fixing to call child services, or making sure you're okay. Amber Alert. We're fixing to put your face on a milk carton. Everything, man. So we have our girl Kristen Rule Squirrels in the building. She says, "Nice to meet you, KayWay." And we have, here we go, KayWay. K-Waster?
Wasters? That doesn't sound. No, we can't do that.
We'll shop it. KayWay
Stafarians?
KayWay Stafarians.
Hey, if we can't pronounce it right now, I don't think anybody can pronounce it.
No. Here we go. Here's a good one. KayWay Farian. KayWayers. That might be a good one.
That's
the
not
KayWayers.
That's not bad.
That's on the top of the list, Daniel. That's on the top of the list for sure. Sunrise. Let's see. That's the Kate Way. The Cat Way.
That's my sister Kat, and she says that. That's the Cat Way. That's her little, one over on.
There you go. We have Gino finds us in the building. Good to see you. Chris Haig is saying, "I'm just here to chat with Kat and Josh in the chat." I love it. I love seeing people interact in the chat. I don't want a nickname for being a Way fan. LOL. You know, KayWayer. That's probably the best one here. And Kristen is saying it's a KayWay partay. I like that. It's like what do you call that, Dustin? Like a play on words kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Chris is saying, "I thought Carl Malone was the mailman." He was the mailman until Wayne had something to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
But Dustin, I forgot to I meant to tell you this earlier, but we do here on This Week in Reselling, one of the oldest reselling podcasts around. We are privileged and honored to have a new sponsor on our show. Someone that wanted to sponsor the podcast, someone that is going to provide a lot of value to everybody here in the chat. So guys, it's the first of the year. You know what comes in the first of the year, Dustin?
Bills, a lot of bills.
A lot of bills, which hopefully you don't get a nice IRS bill due to your taxes. But because of our friends over at Reselling Genie, if you don't know, is an accounting and analytics solution for resellers. Add unlimited platforms to track all your inventory and sales in one location, manage business expenses in real time, analyze your sales trends, and so much more. So Reselling Genie is one of our sponsors on the podcast going forward, guys. And if you want to use Reselling Genie to track down all your expenses, all your tax information, it integrates a bunch of reselling platforms like Depop, Mercari, eBay, of course, Amazon, Poshmark. The list goes on and on. Grailed. So if you want to try the Reselling Genie, we do offer a discount code. So if you use the code NashvilleFlippers when you sign up, you get 15% off your first month. So that's going to be really beneficial to everybody here in the chat that is looking for a way to maybe manage your inventory a little better. And come tax time, it's not that big of a hassle. So check that out. Reselling Genie, one of our proud sponsors here on This Week in Reselling. So let's see here. Trish, we got Sunny Las Vegas is in the building. Good to see you, Sunny. Glad you can stop by. Dirty Thrift is saying it's a cult now. Is KayWay a cult? KayWayers?
Is that a cult?
Are we starting the KayWayers? I like it. I think that's gonna stick.
I think it's a thing.
I think it's gonna stick. Hopefully we don't see a Netflix documentary 5 years from now about the KayWayers. So Trisha is saying we're only here to troll Wayne. I love it. Let's troll as hard as you can. KayWayer sounds. Oh, see, it's a thing. It's a thing now. Do they serve dogs with this podcast? No, I don't. That sounds like an inside joke. I want to hear the background of this.
Chris at peak joke.
Okay, is this a dog-friendly show? I
He
gotta know the joke now.
Hot dogs are a complete meal. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's like Chris's line. He thinks hot dogs are a complete meal.
Ooh, it depends on the glizzy, right, Dustin?
It depends. Yeah, absolutely.
Like if we're going to Sam's Club, I mean, some of those dogs are pretty lengthy there, right, Dustin?
The jumbo dogs?
The jumbo dogs.
Yeah, that's like, yeah. I agree.
You gotta get the lengthy suckers, the thick ones. So let's see here. Rural Squirrel is saying, how do you feel about the Kuji inspired sweaters? Sell as well? Question mark?
So there are certain brands that still sell well. I don't think they sell as well as Kuji, but Tundra is another one that makes Kuji like inspired items. They have sweaters that do the same thing with the crazy patterns. They also do like polo shirts too, but Kuji is like top notch. When you're looking for Kuji, you're looking for the crazy patterns and then what the item is made out of. So cotton ones are like the lower tier, and then if you get a crazy pattern that's a wool, it's a little bit more expensive. And then you get one that's a crazy pattern in cashmere, you're looking at really, really big money. And then of course they have like robes and stuff, like full Kuji robes and stuff. Those can be worth a ton of money as well.
Nice. I like it. So we got some questions dropping down the chat, guys. And again, if you have questions for Wayne, I'm sure he's going to answer them to the best of his ability here. We got Sandy asking, have a little one starting to thrift. Want to ask Kay for any tips on how to juggle both thrifting and listing, etc.
It's hard. I took our little one to Goodwill like 2 weeks ago, and about 10 minutes in, he turned into a dinosaur and he started screeching and ripping all the clothes off the racks. So we left. We were only there for like 15 minutes. It's not easy, but he does go to daycare full time. So as soon as I drop him off, while all 3 kids are at school, I'm working, and then I stop when I pick them up and then do the usual mom stuff, cooking, cleaning, all that fun stuff. And then when they go to bed, I come back out here and start working again. So I just kind of work around their schedule, but it also helps that we're both home so we can tag team, which helps a lot.
Yeah, that could be really hard. I mean, every time I take Dustin to Goodwill, he tends to turn into a dinosaur or a monster. So
every once in a while.
Every once in a while. It scares a bunch of old ladies when he does it. But let's see here. We had another question here. They want to know, what was Wayne's best buy and worst buy?
That's a good question. My best buy is actually, it's on my TikTok. It's pinned to my top of my TikTok page. I got 2 men's Lily Pulitzer blazers in a bulk buy off Facebook Marketplace. And that's one market that a lot of people don't touch to purchase items to resell back online. So what I do on Facebook Marketplace is I search it and I look for people that have a lot of the same item listed. And then what I do is I message them and say, I'm interested in purchasing a lot of these items. And do you have any more available? And I actually stumbled across a gentleman who is a full-time professional golfer, and he sells his golf apparel. He was selling it on Facebook. And I was talking to his wife. She's the one who did the listings. And I've actually purchased like over 1,000 pieces specifically from him, shipped to my door. And in one of the boxes he sent me was 2 men's Lily Pulitzer blazers. And in that box, each unit was about $8.98. And within 24 hours, I sold both of those blazers to one customer on eBay for $1,100. So after fee, shipping, cost of goods, I made just under $900 profit off 2 ugly blazers. If you look at the video on TikTok, I think Kuji sweaters look a lot better than these blazers do, and they sold within 24 hours. Lily Pulitzer menswear sells really, really well. In some cases, better than the women's wear. It sells for more money. My worst buy was I think a lot of resellers make this mistake, is I bought a bunch of those vintage, it's like collector's plates, Roman Rockwell. There's a bunch of in there too. But I saw all of them. I bought each one of them for $1 a piece. There was 1,000 plates. I made my money back. I made a little bit more profit, but the problem was they take way too long to sell and they were taking way too much room. So that was probably my worst buy. I ended up actually putting them on Facebook Marketplace, just giving them away because I didn't sell them. They just took it. So I got them at a good price, but unfortunately they're not fast movers. And that's one thing people need to pay attention when they're looking at comp eBay. You can see stuff selling for good money, but you need to make the sell-through rates there too. You can have 100 listed and 1 sold. And just because that 1 sold for $1 does not mean that item is actually going to sell. If it does, it's going to take long to sell. So you really need to pay attention to that when you're picking up items.
That's a great tip. Sell-through rate is awesome. I need to make a video on how to calculate sell-through rate. I think that would be a good video to do, because a lot of people don't know how to do it. And for me to explain it, it's better to show you how to actually do it. So
Yep.
I can actually explain it, but I think it might get a little confusing to some people. But see, Chris has peak. He's saying Dustin gets it. Complete meal.
Yeah.
A nice dog.
Depends on the hot dog. Can't be those skinny
Depends on-
dogs like Bob Part Franks. You know
You
what
got to
I'm
have some relish on it because you got to have some vegetables to make it a complete meal. You can't
Some
just
onion.
put ketchup and mustard. You got to put everything on it.
Yeah.
Every
Turtle
once in a
is
while, I like
saying,
to put coleslaw on the hot dog.
"Ooh,
That's money.
Dustin."
That is
That
money.
is pretty good.
Okay. Turtle's saying my mom used to roll a dog into a slice of bread and call it lunch. That's not right. That's not right. That's it sounds like Kristen Rule squirrel lunch. So let's see here. The great did I miss a question? Oh no. Here we go. Chris has a great question. Shout out to Chris at Peak. Guys, Chris was on our podcast too. Guys, go back. Look at the catalog. We got a bunch of your favorite resellers on the podcast. Chris had a great podcast, so go back, check out Chris's episode. But he has a question for you guys. How do you stay organized with all your inventory and the numbers?
Yep. Inventory, I put all my items are in bins. And I know a lot of other resellers use a bin system. All my items are put in bins. The bins are lettered and everything on the inside is numbered. So when I make a sale, that letter and number is in my eBay SKU. So when I make a sale, it only takes me about 30 seconds to grab my inventory, come out here. Like I just made a video right before we came on with Buried Treasure, the video I was talking about earlier. And I just went out and grabbed that shirt. It literally took me 30 seconds. So that's the way I keep my inventory organized, is a bin system. I would say if you're a new reseller, start out with a bin system. If you only have 20 items, you only need one bin. Put your items in the bin, letter them, number them, all that good stuff. It'll really keep you organized from the beginning. And that way you're not going back when you know you have 1,000 items and then you're going to try to figure out how to put everything in an inventory system. It's kind of hectic at that point.
For sure.
The way I keep my numbers, I use Jason Hayes' spreadsheet. That's Chris's buddy. I bought his spreadsheet. The thing is amazing. It has sales information. It has what store is best for you, what category is best for you, all that good stuff. So I use Jason's spreadsheet. That's how I keep everything organized.
There you go, guys. And if you want to, if you're scared about using a spreadsheet, you can use an amazing app called My Reseller Genie. First month, 15% off. Use the code NashvilleFlippers. So, all right. This is a great question. Legene has a great question, and we usually like to ask this at the end of the show. Some of the goals. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to the end of the show. So start thinking, Wayne. Put that on the back of your mind there. Kayla, what are the goals for maybe Titans will win the Super Bowl next year. That could be one of the goals.
Let's draft for a good one.
Say that again. It was kind of cutting in and out there, Wayne.
Let's draft wide receiver in 3 or trade for a receiver, please. Somebody.
Yes. Yeah. So if you didn't hear Wayne, he was saying draft a wide receiver or trade for a wide receiver. That's what the Titans need for sure. And Sunny Las Vegas, one of the friends of the channel, he was also on. One of the friends, he says, guys, smash that like button. Do your boy a favor, tickle that like button, and tickle that like button. And if you're listening to this on any podcast platform, make sure you leave a 5-star review. Put a little comments on how much you like this show, and make sure to subscribe, which would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to know where you can find Wayne, all of the description, his link tree is down in the description below. So check him out. We got Facebook, we got TikTok, we got YouTube. What am I missing here, Wayne?
Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. There you go. So check that out. And make sure you follow Wayne on all of his social media platforms. All right. Next, we're gonna move on. Next question next segment of the show. One of people's favorite segments of the show. Overrated, underrated. 10 different subjects. 5 being reselling related. 5 not being reselling related. And so this is usually really fun because people in the chat give us your opinion on what you think about these certain subjects. So, Kayla, Wayne, are you ready? We're ready.
All right.
All right. First one up, number one, overrated, underrated, negotiating at yard sales.
So I don't do too many yard sales. I think this year we are going to start doing more yard sales because we're going to start filming on on YouTube. Just us. We're actually starting to film that next week, and we're going to put out like full length YouTube videos. So we live in Florida, and as most of you guys know, Florida is like the mecca for yard sales. There's literally yard sales all year round. Right. It's even if it's raining outside, if it's cold, it's never too cold for a yard sale here. So negotiating at yard sales, I think, is underrated. You need even I listen to a bunch of Pure Hustle podcasts. I don't know if you guys know them too, but Orlando always is, negotiating. Even if somebody gives him a really good price, he'll negotiate $1 less. And just think, if you buy 1,000 items in a year at a yard sale and you negotiate just $1 less, you save $1,000 just that year. So I think you should try. The worst you can get is a no. And that's probably the best thing you get is no. Learning how to get a no is really, really good. Teaches you to keep on trying and keep on doing it. So I think underrated.
Mm-hmm. Great. Wayne, we got some questions in the chat, so we're going to address these questions before we move on, because there's some good ones. And guys, keep it popping, because we're here to help you learn. We're here to provide value. And let's see here. Sales Shed is asking, this is a great question. How do you balance family versus reselling? Or,
so family
how do you balance
versus
family and reselling?
Got you. It's actually a lot easier now that I'm a full-time reseller, because at the post office, I was sometimes working 10, sometimes 12-hour days, and I would come home and I would literally just be so drained that I would just go right to bed, and I would see a lot less of my family. That's one reason why I actually became a full-time reseller too, is because we just had our son a few months before I became a full-time reseller, and I wanted to be able to spend as much time as possible with him. For those that actually have known me before reselling know that I've always wanted a son. And as soon as he came, I was like, man, I got to spend as much time as I can with this little guy. So it's very easy for me, because I'm actually spending a ton more time with my family than I ever had before. Like, my office is in the house. The kids can come here at any time. He comes in here and walks in here, throw him around a little bit. He goes back to mommy and plays, come back in here. Like, I have way more time than I ever had before. If like my kids ever have like a soccer tournament or something like that they're going to go to in the future, I'll be able to stop what I'm doing. I'll be able to go hang out with them. So I think I have more time than I ever had before. There's not really much balance to it, because I have more time than I ever had before.
There you go. Great. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Imagine you come from working 2 jobs, and who knows if you would still be working 2 jobs, and then having your little boy and basically not ever seeing him till spending, as much time as you want, as possible. So that's one of the benefits about reselling for sure. So we have another great question in the chat. Jamie Granger wants to know, what is the number one big tip that you'll give the people who are starting out reselling?
Big tip is start selling items in your house first before you ever go to like a Goodwill or a garage sale, because most people, the saying is, most people have about $1,000 worth of stuff in their house that they're not using right now that they could list online and make a little bit of extra money, and then use that money to go and buy your first buys at Goodwill. It also teaches you shipping, listing, that process. And if you make a mistake on an item that you had at your house, at least you didn't pay any extra money for it. It's just been laying around your house and you haven't been using it. So if you make a shipping mistake and you end up, losing a little bit on shipping on your first couple items, that's fine, because you haven't really invested much into your business at that point. So, and then I'll throw another one in. We talked about earlier, sell-through rate. It's really easy to go to a Goodwill and look up comps on your phone and see on eBay something selling for a lot of money. But what we really need to pay attention to is how many are listed versus how many are sold, because that's going to tell you how fast the item is going to sell. If you're going to make $100 on an item, but it's going to take you 4 years to sell it, it's probably not a good item to pick up. You might want to buy an item that's only going to make you $20 that'll sell within a week. So really pay attention to that sell-through rate.
There you go. That's good. And Sonny is saying again, guys, hit that like button, tickle that like button, caress that like button, snuggle up with that like button. All right, moving on here. Let's move on to the next one. Overrated, underrated, number 2, Dustin.
Derrick Henry. I know
Has
the
he
answer.
lost
I
a
think-
step, Wayne?
I think he is underrated. First off, I'm wearing his jersey right now. I think he's underrated because he carried the whole dang team this year. I mean, Tannehill, I think I'll throw him in there. I think he's actually an underrated quarterback. If he actually had somebody to throw to this entire year, he probably would have been pretty good. I mean, the year before, he led the most injured team in the NFL to be number 1 in the AFC. So that tells you something about his quarterback skills. He had most of his, wide receivers out most of that year too. But Derrick Henry, I think he's underrated. I think if they get a good receiving core, Derrick Henry is going to go off like he did before. But this year, he didn't get a chance to because, I mean, he was the sole purpose of the team. Everybody knew to go after Derrick Henry the whole year. So
Yeah.
there you
And
go.
we
Not to
had
mention
Todd
that-
Downing, so that kind of put a damper on everything.
And the offensive line was garbage.
Garbage.
So we have our boy Ryan Golf Coast Pickers in the building. Good to see you. We have Mr. Shady Bob Reborn is in the building. Good to see you. And we have Muskid M is in the building. Good to see you guys. Glad that you guys can stop by and say hello. We have SS Spitfire is in the building. He says the Chiefs won. So I guess the Chiefs are heading to the Super Bowl again. So
Who do you guys got? If the Eagles or Chiefs? I'm curious.
I don't know.
I'm so upset that AJ is on the Eagles.
I know. That's why I wanted to lose
And Brett
AJ
Kern.
so bad.
And Brett Kern, yeah, the punter, yeah. It's just,
I want to say Eagles because I like Brett Kern.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anybody stopping the Eagles at this point. It's so sad because AJ's just gonna like hold up that trophy with a big old smile on his face, and I'm just gonna be like, he could have been ours, but
he could have been
at least
ours.
he's going
He
somewhere
could have
good.
been ours. Gosh, it's like that bad ex-girlfriend. You let her go. You let her go because she's like a little crazy. You know what I mean? And you know that you like together it's not gonna work, and you see her. She's engaged. You see the Facebook pictures. She's engaged. She's having kids, being successful, and you're over here smoking menthols in the back of a Waffle House. You know what I mean? It's
In the
tough.
waffle.
Yeah. It's AJ did get traded, so
Yes.
it's our fault. Our fault for sure. So,
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to be here, but
No.
yeah.
he wanted to play with his best friend Hurts.
Yep.
All right. Moving
Look
on.
how salty we all look right now. This is
So
just salty.
I know.
So salty.
That's it for tonight. We'll see you
Yeah.
later.
We're gonna go cry.
Sonny's got a great question or comment. He says, I love reselling apparel. I add measurements in the description. Look at your listings and see all the info, titles, and photos can be touched up. Those are great tips. Wayne, do you add the measurements in your description, or do you just like take the pictures of like a yardstick or whatever you tape measure?
Yeah, so I use the behind me. You can see that's the walk-in light box. So because I use a walk-in light box, it's pretty hard to, it's not a flat lay. I can't lay the item flat and put the yardstick against it. And if I did, then I'd be taking a picture of my arm with the yardstick, and it probably wouldn't look too good. So what I do is I put all my measurements in my description. I keep my measurements pretty simple. Like on a shirt, it's a pit to pit, shoulder to shoulder, top to bottom. On pants and jeans, it's waist measurement, inseam measurement, front rise, back rise, and I put all that into my listing, and I have templates for all my listings. So basically I just take those measurements and they're already set up. I just put in the numbers and put in the title in my description. I'm good to go.
Now, Wayne, I don't think we've mentioned this before. Are you just an eBayer? Are you a Poshmarker? Are you a Depopper? Are you a Grailder? Are you a
KayWayer.
KayWayer? Yeah. Well, we know you're a KayWayer.
Yeah.
Or
So
as Linda likes to say, a KayWayans. That's interesting.
So I sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace. I use List Perfectly to cross list to all those platforms. And I'm thinking this year, from my lives that I do on TikTok, a lot of people are telling me that I should put my items on Depop and Grailed. So next month, I'm probably going to open a Depop and Grailed and cross list to those platforms too. Give it a month or two and see how well they do. And of course, if they don't do well, then I can just, get rid of them and just keep doing what I'm doing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And guys, if you want to follow KayWay's journey into his new reselling platforms. Make sure you follow him on all of his social media. All of his social media linked down in the description below. So let's move on. Number 3, the Goodwill Bins, overrated, underrated.
Ooh. So my sister's in the chat right now. She goes to the Goodwill Bins. I've made a couple videos. I actually tried to do a live there last Tuesday with her.
Did they let you film in the Goodwill Bins?
I don't care. I film anyway. It's not like I don't go there too often. If they kick me out, then I'll just go back to the place I normally go to. So it doesn't matter. But when you do lives, it's really hard to tell that you're on live. You know, those people that walk around with their cell phones up to their face and they're just like FaceTiming. That's pretty much what you look like you're doing when you're doing a TikTok live. Is you look like you're FaceTiming with somebody. So, overrated, underrated. I would say if you have the right mindset, underrated. Because you really have to work at it. And my sister will tell you it's a lot of work. You're digging and digging, but you're getting rewarded with, 50 cent to $1 items that you're going to sell for 35, 45. I mean, she's found items that she sold for over 100 at the Goodwill Bin. She paid less than $1 for. So if you have the right mindset, I think it's underrated, but just know that it's a lot of work. It's not like going to a thrift store and flicking through those racks and really easy to find your items. You're really, really having to dig and hunt for those items.
Got that right. Jonathan's got a great question. He says, what site do you use to cross-post your listings?
Yeah, I use, I said it a little bit earlier, I use List Perfectly. I don't know how you guys feel about me promoting on your platform.
Promote as much as you want. You can
promote it all.
Gotcha.
Promote it all, baby.
I got a link in my bio. You can either go to my TikTok or my Facebook or my Instagram page. I have a link in my bio. If you use code KayWay Shop, you get 30% off your first month. I asked my chat for like a month which one is the best because I know there's multiple out there, and many people told me List Perfectly was better, and especially for my business model. I think later on I'm going to add employees to my business, and because List Perfectly allows you to cross-list unlimited items, I think it works better for my business model. I think Vindu might actually let you do unlimited now. I'm not too sure about that, but List Perfectly I knew from the beginning let me do unlimited, so that's why I chose them.
There you go, guys. And make sure to use Wayne's code down in the description below. Hit the link tree, check out List Perfectly, and use that code. Chris has a great question. Wayne, have you ever arm wrestled Josh?
So my sister's husband is Josh. He's actually a professional arm wrestler. He'll tell you like my left arm is ranked number 3 and my right arm is ranked number 10 in Florida. No, wow. I do not want to arm wrestle that guy. He will break my arm in half. Even if I had me and her arm wrestle and we both had both of our hands on both of his arms, I don't think we could beat him. So I know when to stand down against any competition, and that is a competition that I do not want to take part in.
Wow, that's amazing. Is his favorite movie Over the Top?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
The Sylvester Stallone professional arm wrestler.
Like I told you before live, I don't watch movies.
It's fantastic. You need to watch it. You need to watch it. Oh, man, that sounds fantastic. Now, Felix had a great question, and we'll get back to this question later on here in the chat, Felix, so stay tuned for that. He says, what are the top 10 brands to sell on eBay? Top 10 men's brands, so stay tuned for that. Yeah. We'll answer that here in a sec. And we have That's Unique Tennessee is in the building. Good to see you. We have our boy Dustin Boldnorth Flips is in the building. It says, is this a group therapy for the Titans? Yes. Well,
might as well.
The Minnesota fans can come in too if you need some help here, Dustin. So come on in here. So see, Over the Top is awesome. Don't sleep on Over the Top. It's a great 80s bad movie. So if you need a good laugh, Over the Top. I mean, he's an arm wrestler, you know. I think the premise was he needed enough money to get his kid back from like legal, you know, like they're trying to take away from him from like his, I don't know. So he needed the money, and he saw he can get the money from competing in an arm wrestling competition. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic.
Won't they do a remake?
Oh yeah.
Do a reboot of the slapping competition.
Oof.
Oh, I've seen.
Have you seen? Oh my god.
Oh man, those people
How
get
dumb
knocked
do you have
out.
to be?
How do they not turn their head when they're about to get slapped? That's what I want to know. They're so well trained that they don't even turn their head.
Ain't no way.
Could you imagine the legal paper they have to sign before they compete. Like, I bet it's, they got, what is it? The brain, what did they call it? CTS or what?
Yeah, CTE.
CTE,
Guaranteed.
man, guaranteed. So let's see here. What's your top item on your bucket list? Sunrise Listing ask.
Yep. Well, it was a Kuji sweater. That's like the thing I was hunting for. I told my chat the other week I need to figure out a new one, something, some like polo item that's really sought after, because I don't know. It was always a Kuji sweater. I didn't ever think I was going to find one, and now that I found one, now I have to figure out something else.
Okay. See, we got some good people in the chat. They're loving the movie. Chris saying, I literally turned my hat around like over the top style yesterday. And then Ryan is saying, truck driving arm wrestler. Get it right, Ray. And then Swamp Picker saying, buy a new truck and his kid. See, people are correcting me here. They're fans of this movie, so just
getting it all wrong.
I'm getting it all wrong here. Jennifer Ludwig is saying taxes? ? So I don't know if you want to get into that mountain of a molehill, but I don't know how you do your taxes, Wayne, and it's a lot. I would advise that you see a professional legal person, and to help you get all that information together, we do have a promo code for you for List Perfectly, and they do that all for you, helps you out. So use the code #NashvilleFlippers and you're going to get 15% off your first month. So look into that, Jennifer. Let's see here. The 856 Flipper says, I wonder, New Jersey. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, y'all, I see a lot more people getting into reselling. What separates full-timers from part-timers to side hustle? That's a great question, because Dustin and I, we're part-timers, and Wayne is a full-timer. So do you want to go first, Dustin? Do you want to kind of give what your part-time is, and then Wayne can kind of give what his full-time is?
My part-time, I'm going Goodwill, whatever, after work for about an hour, Monday through Friday, if I have time. Saturday is our main sourcing day. We're at Gimme 5, whatever, 2 hours, if it's good, 3 hours. Back at home, get that stuff listed, and then that's pretty much my week for reselling, and get packages ready through the week.
There you go. And just like, even if you are part-timing, you could make a full-time income doing part-time, depending on, like we said, if you work your butt off, you're going to make full-time money. But if you're just using it as a part-time, or side hustle, it's just like I said, you get out what you put in. So, KayWay, what separates full-time, part-time? You're full-time, of course, and you were doing it part-time. Now you're doing it full-time.
Yep. Well, I'll piggyback off what you just said. You can definitely make a full-time income doing it part-time, because before I left the post office, I was doing it part-time, and I made more money reselling than I did at the post office in that year in 2021. So you 100% can do that. It's about a build. So just like Dustin was saying, when I was part-time, I'd go to thrift stores on the way home, pretty much every day off, because we had a rotating schedule at the post office. So one week I'd have Monday off, the next week I'd have Tuesday off. And I'd plan my trips around like what stores were the best during those days. But pretty much my days off, because she was at work at the time, I would just hit up as many thrift stores as I possibly could, bring that stuff home, hopefully get enough so I can list throughout the week. If I didn't, then I'd have to make time throughout the week to stop at a thrift store on the way home to get more stuff, or like garage sales on the weekend, stuff like that. What separates, I think it depends on the area you're in. Where I am, I can go to one thrift store and I do live thrifts there. They're all up on my YouTube channel. I do them on TikTok and I download them and I put them on YouTube so everybody can rewatch them. But I only have to go to that store one day a week and I get enough inventory for the whole week. I also do like huge buyouts. My last one, also up on my YouTube, I bought a collection of trains. There's probably 2,000 plus trains from this one guy. I'm still have a ton of those to list. So if my death pile of clothing ever got low, I have another death pile that I can go through of trains that I can list. Or if I'm getting bored with clothing, I can start listing those items as well. But I think it really depends on your location, where you're at. Because if your thrift stores are dry, you might have to make a lot more time to go to thrift stores. Whereas me, I only go to one a week. And here in Florida, in my local area, in like a 20-mile radius, I have like 20 thrift stores. So I could always go to different ones if I had to. But that one that I go to is just, it's been the best. So
Nice.
That's my answer to that.
Great info there. We got Tina is dropping some glizzy emojis. So this meme is going down deep.
Thanks,
deep
Chris.
meme. And we have Roman is in the building. Anytime picker, good to see you. And we have Marie. I don't think I said hi to you yet, so good to see you, Marie. And we have bearded PokeTuber Matt is in the building. Good to see you. Glad you can stop by. And let's see here. We have, I just missed Bryant Willing. Good to see you. Glad you can stop by. And we have Caesar. Good to see you.
Hey, that's the guy that actually made my logo. Thanks, Caesar, for the new logo.
Fantastic. Shout out to Caesar. So let's see here. Ryan, Gulf Coast Picker, saying, where in Florida are you, if you don't mind me by asking?
Yeah, I'm in the Tampa Bay area, Clearwater to be exact. So
nice. All right, let's move on, Dustin. Number 4.
Red Robin Restaurant.
We love
we
Robin.
love Red Robin.
Yeah,
underrated. We go there.
Oh.
We go there all the time. There's one after we go to Red, White, and Blue. It's on the way home. It's in like a strip mall or in a mall. So we stop by there. We always get the same thing. We get the
guacamole bacon burger.
Guacamole
so
bacon
good.
burger. You get the garlic fries with the campfire sauce. Sometimes I get a milkshake, but normally I don't. If I'm feeling froggy that day, I might get a beer midday and just drink the beer. That's the cool thing about working for yourself is you can have a beer midday. Yes, I think underrated.
Wait, we're not supposed to drink at work? Regular?
Well, here we can drink at work.
There you go. Campfire sauce. Okay. What about the bottomless fries? Overrated, underrated?
I think it's overrated because
You're so full from the burger and the
Mhm.
fries they give you. You don't actually. I don't think we've ever actually gotten more fries.
No.
Okay. Nice. Great point. Great question there. All right, this is a good one. Overrated, underrated. Number 5, Plato's Closet.
Again, I think it depends on your area. I will say it's properly rated. There are certain items in that store when they price them, it just makes no sense. Like there's one store in my area that prices Nike Vapor Max at $200, and even online you can't sell them at $200. So
That's like
they literally they've been there for like a year and they just can't sell them. And I asked the manager if they'd ever like discount them because they've been sitting there for so long, and they said they don't discount any shoes over $100, so they'll be there forever. But there are steals you can find in Plato's Closet. I've made a few videos on my TikTok going in there and buying items to flip. The cool thing about Plato's is a lot of their items are cleaned and well maintained because they tell customers before they bring in their stuff it has to be laundered and folded nicely. So pretty much everything you buy in there is in really good condition. They have a great way of looking over everything and before they put it out. So you can find some steals, but then there's some stuff that's just way too overpriced. It doesn't make any sense.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. All right, moving on. I don't know why I put this on here.
I'm trying to figure this out
question. Should be reselling question, but we're gonna go with it here, Dustin. Oh,
we're on number 6.
Still gonna work, huh?
We're number 6.
Yeah,
Mascots.
Let's do it. Mascots.
Mascots?
Yeah, how random. What do you...
Okay. Overrated, I guess. Like I don't really pay attention to the mascot when I'm at the game. I'm more focused on the game, so I think they're overrated.
Okay. What's your favorite mascot of all time? Is it Benny the Bull? What's that gorilla for the Phoenix Suns? What's that gritty? The gritty for the Philadelphia Flyers? I mean, T-Rack for the Titans. I mean, there's so many good ones out there.
I guess I got to go with the Titans mascot. The only other one I was going to say is the one at the Bright House Fields when we go to it was. We go to Threshers games often. They're a local team.
What's his name?
I forget his name too.
Oh, we failed. We don't know.
Yeah,
what is
his name?
What is the mascot?
Yeah, it's like a local mascot. We see him all the time. Our kids love seeing him. So
Raymond.
Raymond. That's his name. Yeah,
that's what
we'll go with him because we see him all the time. Every time we go to those games.
Nice. Well, I wanted to bring this up just because here on the Nashville Flippers, we just had a new mascot for the Nashville Flippers for the first time. We just got a puppy. Well, I just
I
got a
saw that.
puppy, my wife and I. So this is our new mascot, Dustin. We have here Mateo, the golden doodle. So stay tuned. You're going to be seeing a lot of Mateo on all of our social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. So he's going to be everywhere. So if you get sick of him, let me know.
Bring him out garage sale in the spring, summer.
Oh, man. Imagine the deals we'll get, Dustin, with a cute puppy.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know?
I cannot wait.
Man.
Give us stuff for free.
It's almost having like a cute kid walking, you know. Have you ever got any deals because of your son maybe going to the garage sales with you? And they're like, oh, he's so cute.
Like I said, we don't really go. We're going to start going to garage sales this year. I pretty much get all my inventory from thrift stores. So obviously thrift stores in my area, they're not going to give you a deal because you have a cute kid. They don't really haggle on the prices in the stores. But I can definitely see bringing a cute kid to a garage sale, and if you find some like high priced toy and you're like, man, this would be perfect for him, and they'd be like, oh, okay, here it is, you can have it for free, and you're like, yes, now I can sell it for a lot of money.
Yeah, got that right. Dustin's got a great question. He says, does the pup like a Waffle House? He sure does. You know, the hash browns covered, smothered with bacon, and what's the Grand Slam meal, or what's it called?
The
Dustin?
All-Star breakfast.
All-Star breakfast. There we go. All right. Let's see here. What is your goal for? This is a great question. We'll address this. Well, let's go ahead and let's see. What's your goal for the year now that you have your wife assisting you full time? That's a great question, Deb.
I think one of our goals is to, I've talked this about in my chat too over on TikTok, is start making full-length YouTube videos. That's one goal we have of just like, documenting our journey. Definitely get more items listed now that she's helping me full-time. And what that means is last year, my son was with us a couple days a week, and he only went to daycare. What was it? 3 days a week? Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
It started as twice, and then we bumped it up to 3 so we can get more work done, and now he's full-time. Yeah,
so he goes Monday through Friday now. So now we're able to really tackle that death pile, get a bunch listed. She pretty much drafts everything, and then I'll photo everything. And I normally try to get some stuff done during the day, and then I'll get a few more done on my live at night. But yeah, just get more items listed, build our store up, have more of a presence on social media, because with her listing now, it kind of, opens me up to do more social media stuff. And then maybe in the future get another employee, and that'll free both of us up to do more social media stuff. So
nice. We have another question with the 8856 Flipper ask, any thoughts on selling hard goods versus clothing? I know Wayne likes mostly clothes. What's your thoughts?
I sell mostly clothes because I have limited space. So I can fit 50 clothing items into one of those 66 quart bins. Whereas if I was selling a bunch of hard goods, I would only be able to fit maybe, depending on the size, maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 items in that bin. So because I store everything in my house, that's one reason why I try to do mostly clothing. But I do sell hard goods. I have posts on my Instagram story before I bought out like entire Christmas house collections. Like I said before, I bought that train collection. So I do some hard goods, but due to space management issues, I try to focus on clothing because they're smaller items, decent profit margin, and I can store them here at home. Whereas I don't have to go get a storage unit and drive the storage unit every day to ship my items. So trying to limit that happening.
Okay, nice. Sunrise Listing is saying, I bring my kids to yard sales. It works every time. So there you go. Here we have a question for Kayla. What is Kayla's favorite thing about reselling?
Freedom would be my favorite thing.
Ooh, that's a
because I also worked full time, and I would always feel bad if like the kids were sick and I had to call off, or I had to volunteer at events and stuff, and I had to ask my boss, and I'd be missing work. And now I don't have to do that. I can just volunteer as needed. The kids don't feel good, they can stay home. I'm available. Whatever they need for school, I can get right away. So that's been my favorite thing. I'm learning the women's stuff right now. So once I figure that out, maybe I'll have more favorite things. But for now, freedom is my favorite.
Freedom, that's a great answer. That is a great answer. Felix saying, what are the top 3 reselling YouTube channels, not including the Nashville Flippers?
Like I said before, I've watched a ton of Rally Roots, so I have to put them number 1. I love the guys over at Pure Hustle too. They have a great podcast. If you guys haven't listened to them, go listen to them. They're excellent. When I first started reselling, they were one of the people that I could reach out to, and they would answer me like right away. I tried to limit that.
That's awesome.
I didn't try to reach out to them with every question, but if I ever stumbled across a hard question, I would be able to reach out to them, and Orlando would normally hit me back pretty quick. So those guys would be number 2. I'm trying to think of a good number 3. I don't want to leave anybody out, but
yeah,
I've been watching a lot of Commonwealth Picker recently. A lot of his stuff. He does a lot of garage sales and stuff like that. So I've been like kind of starting to watch other people that do like garage sale vids. That way I can like get an idea of what they do. So I'll put him number 3.
There you go. Nice. So Charwie, if you could rephrase this question, because I don't understand what you're trying to ask. Benefits as reseller to be on. Oh, okay. It sounds better when I say it out loud. Benefits as a reseller to be on social media.
Of course, like you can my live, and I'm at 2 hours, and they hit up on my Instagram. They're like, "Hey, that blank in your live, I'd like to purchase it from you." And normally, I give them a better than if I were to sell on eBay. I'm missing out on those big fees, all that good stuff. So, of course, sales. But to be honest, I learned so much just from my community, just by being a presence on social. People will hit me up out of the blue and show me a picture of an item. Hey, have you ever heard of this brand? It sells for this. I have learned so much from my community, whereas if I didn't have a presence on social media, I wouldn't have learned those brands. So I try to give back as much as I can and like spread my knowledge, but it's great to have a community that will also help me out. And that's part of a community, is everybody helps each other.
There you go. Nice. Gulf Coast Picker saying, dang, no love. Because Gulf Coast Picker has a YouTube channel as well. So, yeah, just everyone in the chat, so go and subscribe to everyone's YouTube channel if you have one. So it's a great way to link up and learn from each other. I saw another question. Here's a good one from Jennifer. She says, do you have a price limit you'll be willing to spend on one item?
It really depends on what that item is going to sell for. If the item is going to sell for $100, I might spend, $50 on it if I know it's going to be a quick flip. If that item is going to sit for a while, then maybe I don't pay up $50. Maybe I only pay $20 for it, or maybe $10 for it. So it really depends on the item. I mean, if an item is going to sell for $10,000 and I know I can sell it in a day, I'd be willing to pay, $6,000, $7,000 for it to make a $3,000 spread. So, it really depends.
Nice. Great question. Legene, asks, best way to build social media? It's an interesting question.
Well, I'm still kind of fairly new. I mean, I've grown my TikTok, and I know a lot of people don't respect the TikTok growth because they feel like if you make one viral video, you'll blow up. But if you look at my TikTok, I just had my first viral video happen last month. It was actually the Kuji Sweater video. I have 200,000 views on that one. But if you look at all my other videos, I don't really have substantial views on any of those, but I still have a substantial following because I started to do lives. And that's why I love these kind of lives, going with other people. People really underestimate the whole live presence, because you can really engage with your community. You can build a community a lot more than if you just made a whole bunch of videos. People can ask you questions and you can give them answers, and people can engage with you. You get to learn people's names, learn about people's families, all that good stuff. So I would say if you want to build a good social media, lives is where it's at. Be willing to give away as much information as you possibly can. I know a lot of people put their information behind a paywall, but I'm not one of those people. I think I learned, and most people in the chat probably learned, from a lot of free information. And that's how I want to build my channel, is just giving back as much as you can. I've always said this. I'd rather have a big platform pay me than my fans and my supporters pay me. Because for one, if you put out a course and it sucks, then you're not going to have that many fans afterwards. But if you give all the information away for free, nobody can be mad at you, especially if it's bad information. So
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
We don't want to piss off the KayWayers.
The KayWayers.
Yeah.
It's gonna
So,
stick. It's a thing.
Speaking of YouTubers, they say Paul the Philly Flipper. Guys, if you don't know, Paul and I, we do a live each and every Monday, except for tomorrow because he's moving, where we draft random things in order. So last week we had a really good draft with Ryan Golf Ghost Pickers, and we picked our favorite cereals. So that was really fun. And so Mondays, it's usually we switch between our channel and Paul's channel. So real quick, Kayla, and Wayne, what is your favorite cereals?
Favorites? I'll probably go Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That was the number. That was I think that was number one overall.
Yeah.
I love Fruity Pebbles or Life, but I always add extra sugar on the Life because there's never enough. All right, Fruity Pebbles, final answer.
Fruity Pebbles.
Sticking with that one.
There you go. What about you, Dustin?
I'm a Frosted Flakes guy.
Ooh, keeping it classy. Yep. I like
it.
I like it. So I didn't see this. I saw the question, Christopher, and then I forgot that you wrote it. So thank you so much for putting it in the chat. So he wants to know, how's it living with someone and working a full-time job with the same person? That's a great question.
I can see how it can be difficult for some people, but with our relationship, it's really easy. We sit in here all day. We hang out with each other. I mean, we haven't had any issues. In our relationship, we've been together since we've been in high school. So, and we have had I think we've had like one real fight since then. So we're really easy to get along with each other. So we love it. We love being around each other.
There you go.
Like it too. Having both of us home all the time.
Mm-hmm. Death do us part, right, guys?
Yep.
You signed up for it.
Exactly.
All right. Jennifer says, Wayne, will you find a great thrift store and tell the world?
So Jen actually told me about red, white, and blue. That's why she's saying that. I've lived in this area.
Stole it from her.
Completely stole it from her. I've lived in this area since I've been born, and I never heard of red, white, and blue. And then she told me about it, and I walked in the first day, and I was like, this has completely changed my life. This store is amazing. They had such great items at such great prices, and I was like, I'm stuck. I'm only going to this thrift store from now on. So thanks, Jen. But there's two in our area, so she goes to the other one. I'll leave the other one for her.
Okay, there you go. So, guys, if you're ever in the Tampa area, check out red, white, and blue.
Yeah, they're actually all over the nation too. They're not just in Tampa. I think they go by different names, but they're all over the place. Okay,
nice. Tina is saying that Corn Pops is her favorite from back in the day. So they have messed with the recipes on most of these cereals now. So let's see. I saw a nice little comment. Sales Shed saying, I started reselling 3 months ago. KayWay was where I learned from. He always is willing to answer my questions. So really cool, really awesome. And again, guys, if you want to follow everything KayWay is doing, check out the link in the description and follow him on all of his social media platforms. All right, moving on. This is a good one. Number 7, Whatnot. Have you dipped your toes into the Whatnot?
No, everybody who watches my lives always tells me you should do Whatnot. You're so good on live. You could sell your items on Whatnot. But a lot of the stuff I see on Whatnot is people selling, stuff that they can't sell themselves, or just like old stale inventory that they're just trying to get rid of. But there are people that do it right. They do it the right way, and they list like really good stuff. They build a following, and that's the thing with Whatnot is it's like another social media platform. You really got to build a following to make it successful. If you go on your first show and expect to sell $1 million worth of stuff, it'll never happen. You really got to, in some cases, lose a lot of money in the beginning to make a lot of money in the end, building up that platform. So I think it is overrated. I think platforms like Poshmark could do it really a lot better, because Poshmark, like I already have 100,000 followers on Poshmark. So when I go live, if they could push that to all 100,000 people that follow me, that would boost me way higher than I could do on Whatnot if I started Whatnot today. So yeah, I think it's overrated.
Okay. Great answer. So moving on. Trisha wants to know what your skincare routine is.
That's an inside joke. I always ask people at the end of my lives. I'm always like, I'll be live for another 2 minutes if anybody has any questions, leave them down in the chat before I leave. And then one day somebody said skincare routine, and my sister was in the live, and she just like, I can't deal with this chat right now. She started laughing. I started laughing. I'm like, oh,
skincare routine is important. Your boy's 36, and I gotta start taking care of my skin. You know,
yeah, TikTok, you get a crazy crowd on TikTok.
Yeah. So, Chris at Peak wants to know, what is it like being Kat's sister?
Or I guess that's a question for you, because I'm her brother.
Yeah. So
how do you feel, Kat?
I love you, Kat.
She loves
you. There you go. All right. Why are you a Titans fan if you're from Tampa? That's a great question too.
Good question. I've been to this, I think on one of your lives, Ray. I think you asked me the same question. It was one where you were sitting in your car and you're like, why are you a Titans fan if you're in the Florida area?
Yeah.
Well, it was like the first game I ever watched NFL. I remember I turned it on. It was a Titans game. For whatever reason, it was Titans. I don't even know who they were playing, but I was like, I'm going to be a Titans fan from now on. It was like when I was in like middle school and like everybody had their own favorite sports team and I didn't have one yet. And I was like, I'm going to be a Titans fan. And I've followed them ever since. So it was that one game, watching that one game, I just fell in love with the Titans. I don't know what it was.
Awesome. I love it. So
obviously I'm not a bandwagon fan because Titans haven't won anything. So you can't call me a bandwagon.
Got that right.
They will soon.
They will soon. Let's know. And we're going to be like, we were there.
We were there.
You know, I was there. Titans fan, 3rd grade.
We have video proof right now.
Nothing. There you go. Video proof. Moving on. Number 8, Dustin.
Air Jordan 11s.
Ooh. I would say they are properly rated. I like Jordan 11s. I like the silhouette. I've never actually worn a pair myself, but I've owned multiple pairs. I just like the look of them. But the thing with Jordans is I wear primarily Yeezys because Yeezys are really breathable. So I could wear a pair of Yeezys for like 2-3 years and they don't stink. Whereas if I wore a pair of Jordans, if my feet sweat enough in them, they'll start to smell bad. And I'd rather wear a pair of Yeezys. Plus Yeezys are much more comfortable. So I have a ton of Nikes. I don't know if you can see behind her over there. I have a whole stack of them over there. So I buy and sell Nikes all the time, but I don't actually ever wear them. I have a pair of Jordan 4s that I wear. I have a pair of Jordan 1 lows, but everything else is Yeezys. So I would say they're properly rated. They're really awesome to look at. A lot of the older models are really awesome, but I don't actually wear them.
There you go. All right. Moving on because we're over an hour. I want to respect your time here, Wayne.
No, you're good.
Are we good to keep going, or do you want?
The kids are asleep. You're good.
Kids are in bed. We can be here for another 3 hours if you want. We're good.
Okay. Speaking of people that probably have a bedtime, we have Jeremy, aka Colts Comics, is in the building. He says, "Do you have to wear a Titans jersey to be on this?" You do. That's a thing.
I'm not wearing one, so I'm good.
You're wearing one underneath your shirt.
Yep, there we go.
So, Swamp Picker saying bye. Good to see you, Glenn. Crocs are the way to go. I like Crocs. I like a good Croc.
Sport mode.
I just got some. You know what the Soleil Crocs are, Wayne? Like the weird.
Yeah.
I just got some of those. So
yeah. Do those make weird prints on the ground when you step on them? Is that the whole reason why they have? Okay.
Well,
gotcha.
they're weird. They're a little weird. So, all right, moving on. Which this is a great question that Felix asked earlier on in the chat. Selling men's clothing, overrated or underrated?
I think it's underrated. There's a lot of brands that actually sell a lot better that you would think would sell better in women's, but actually sell better in men's. So, for example, like Rock Revival jeans, I think anybody who's ever sold Rock Revival jeans will probably tell you a men's pair will sell faster and for more money than a women's pair of Rock Revival jeans. Lululemon men's pants sell a lot better than, in some cases, than women's Lululemon leggings. So I really like selling menswear. I think one reason why menswear actually sells a lot better is because I'm sure you guys can attest to this. Guys wear their clothing and we wear it for a very long time. So to find a nice quality men's item in a thrift store is actually really rare. Like I still wear the basketball shorts that I've worn in high school. I'm sure you guys probably have. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find a really good, newer, high dollar item in a thrift store. Whereas women, a lot of women are more fast fashion. So they're like buying stuff and then like a week later they want a different color. So they donate that item and you find a bunch of that in the thrift store. So, and if you go to any thrift store, you can see that the men's section is like this big and the women's section is like this big. It's massive compared to the men's. So
that makes a lot of sense. I've never really thought about it like that.
yeah. So I think it's underrated.
Yeah. Great question. Brian wants to know, Ray, what do you sell? We sell all kinds of stuff, man. Check out all of our social media platforms, the Nashville Flippers. We show you what we pick up, when we go to the bin stores, thrift stores, and what have you. So check that out. Colt's
Did you start
comments.
selling eggs recently?
Eggs, yes. I purchased a what do you call a lot of chickens, Dustin? You know, like a flock of chickens?
Sure, let's go with that.
Flock. I just purchased a flock of chickens.
Did you get a coop? You got a coop?
I got a coop. Eggs are coming in nice. If you hit your boy up, a dozen eggs, $99.99. So free shipping. So there you go. Colts Comics, overrated, underrated.
What? I don't even know what that is.
It doesn't even know. Yeah. There. Who is
Colts
that?
Comics?
Who is Colts Comics?
Overrated.
Yeah. Colts
Comics in the chat. My bad.
Yeah. Wayne, back to Felix's question. We just touched on men's clothing. He says top 10 brands. Just give us some brands to look out for that just come to your mind.
Yeah, I get this question all the time. It's a joke from one of my lives. Everybody always tells me, what's the top 3 brands, what's the top 5 brands? It's so hard to give a top anything because there's so many brands you're on the lookout for. I always tell people, if you want to know the brands I sell on a consistent basis, my eBay store is linked in my bio. You can look at my eBay store. You can look at what's listed versus what's sold, all that good stuff. It's a great way to look up brands that I'm picking up consistently. Top selling men's brands. I'll just name off a few. My top selling men's brand, I just made a video about it on TikTok last year, was Tommy Bahama. And a lot of people say that brand doesn't sell. But for me, it does. You just got to pick up the right Tommy Bahama shirts. Also, I got a huge lot of them. I got like 200 of them at one time. So it kind of helped. There was a lot of, repeat buyers coming back. So that kind of helped that sell. I love selling Rock Revival, Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, just a lot of like bread and butter brands. Couple that people don't know about. I just learned about Fall Raven. I learned about that from one of my followers. Another one is Willis and Geiger. And a lot of people don't know Willis and Geiger, but it's an old vintage brand that sells really well. Mabby jeans, those are excellent. So there's a few for you.
There you go, guys. And like Wayne said, go to his eBay store, filter through sold listings, check out what's selling. So check that out for sure. We got our boy Rob, Funky Monkey, Junk Monkey's in the building. Good to see you, man. Glad you can stop by. Do you sell golf clubs? We have sold some golf clubs in the past. You sell golf clubs, Wayne?
I sell golf club. Sell golf apparel, but I don't sell golf clubs. No.
Okay. Nice. There you go. All right. So the last question, overrated, underrated. We finally muscled through it, Dustin.
Got it. Got here.
Yeah.
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
I love Chris.
You can
Tommy
answer
boy,
this.
come on.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Overrated, underrated?
A legend.
I love Chris Farley.
So would you say overrated, underrated?
Underrated?
Underrated.
Yeah, for sure.
She's the movie one. I don't watch much movies, so that's why she's here. Strictly for the movie questions.
Are you more like a show guy? What is your entertainment of choice here?
I normally, during the day, I love doing this. So I love reselling, making content, stuff like that. I've always never really watched too much TV. The only time I really watch TV is when, Titans games are on or football's on. That's when I watch TV. But I don't watch much movies. I don't watch shows or anything. I'm normally focused on doing other things. I watch YouTube.
We watch Stranger Things.
Yeah,
we love Stranger Things.
We'll find a series and we'll watch
binge
that.
A series.
But I won't
Have you been watching The Last of Us on HBO?
No, my mom actually just called me to tell me about it today. And no, I have not seen it, but she said it's really good.
It's fantastic.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we started watching Kaleidoscope last night.
Oh, is that any good?
It's supposed to be the one where you can watch the stuff any episode out of order, and then it somehow still makes this really cool story.
Yeah,
we only watched one episode, but it was really good.
Yeah, the first episode was pretty good.
Okay, here's an interesting question by Tina. What is your ranking in COD? Are you a big COD guy?
So bearded Bearded Thrifter actually got me back into COD. He was we were doing like a kind of like a little podcast thing over on TikTok. We called ourselves Thrift Daddies, and we would do that once a week, and we'd hang out with the chat and everything. We'd try to interview like people from the TikTok community. But he got Call of Duty, and he was like, "You need to go get back into Call of Duty. We can play COD together." And I was like, "All right." So I went ahead and bought it. I played it for like 2 weeks. I haven't played it. I played it again last night with him, but he's on it every single night. I can't do that. I got other stuff to do. He's addicted at this point.
That's commitment. That's
hard.
Commitment right there. I started streaming some video game content on here, so if you randomly see me live playing GoldenEye, which I played the other day on the Switch, jump in and say hi. Watch me play some video games on here. If I'm going to play them, we might as well. No, here on YouTube.
Okay. Have you ever thought about streaming on Twitch for that? Because I know Twitch community is pretty big.
Yeah. I just bought this $20 capture card at Walmart, and I wanted to try it, so.
Gotcha.
Why not? So, all right. Wayne and Kayla, thank you so much for answering overrated, underrated questions. And we do want to give a shout out to our sponsor of Overrated Underrated is the good people over at poppinofftoys.com. One of the best places to get Funko Pops, Wayne. Are you a big Funko Pop collector, Wayne?
No, the only thing I collect right now are Kuji sweaters, and I have a couple pair of shoes that I collect, and that's pretty much it.
There you go. Well, for the toy collectors in your life, people in the chat, if you want to check out some amazing Funko Pops and you want to save a little bit of money, use the code NashvilleFlippers and you're going to receive 10% off at poppinofftoys.com. So, next segment of the show, we have, I always forget to play the music, Dustin. It's not the same without the music. So we have Dustin's tip of the week. Is it playing
I never heard the music, so
there you go.
It's all right.
All right. So Dustin, what is your tip of the week this week?
Always make sure your stuff is authentic and legit. I failed to do that because I didn't know too much about a certain red dot scope for a gun and ended up being fake. That was a $320 hit.
Oof. Which, Dustin, to your defense, we didn't even know they made fake gun scopes and red dot sights anyways.
Nope. After the guy said it was fake, I started looking into it more and it's like, all right, cool. So there's fakes for everything.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's crazy. Wayne, Kayla, have you ever ran into any kind of, what would you say, counterfeit, unauthentic items that you thought were real and then somehow you ended up finding out that it was counterfeit?
Yeah, it normally happens. I bought like a bunch of shoes from Goodwill. There were a bunch of Jordans and Nikes, and ended up, I didn't look at them enough while I was in store. I was just so hyped up that I found all of them. It looks like they had just put them out, and I was like, man, I'm going to score here. And I think half of them were real, and then the other half were fake, unfortunately. But now eBay has the authenticity guarantee program. So you send your shoes through authenticity guarantee. They make sure they're authentic, and they send them to your buyer. So they've really scaled up that program too. Now you get a free FedEx label, so you don't charge your shipping or anything like that, as long as your item fits in I think it's 20 by 20 by 20 box, and it's under 30 pounds. You can ship it through authenticity guarantee with that free label. So yeah, now you don't have to really worry about that.
There you go. Felix wants to know, was it EOTech, Dustin?
It was it Tricon or Trigicon?
That's right.
Yeah.
So there you go. Chris wants to know, I want a KayWay Funko. That would be great. KayWay bobblehead? Yeah.
Just a line of reseller pops.
Would you resell your Funko Pops? That'd be great.
I would if I signed it.
Yeah. I have this idea. I wanted to generate Dustin, and I don't think I've expressed this thought to you. We collect Pokemon cards. Trading cards are big. I want to do a reseller trading card for each reseller and sell the packs. And there's secret rares, and some of them are, we'll have a KayWay one of just Wayne, maybe just Kayla, then them together. Him with the Kuji Sweater. I think it would just be fun.
Do it.
So that's an idea. So Dustin says, I see people selling counterfeit video games all the time that are not labeled reproduction. I always message them and give them bad news. That happens a lot. I'm sure we've sold some fake ones, right, Dustin?
Oh, I sold one the other day. The Nintendo DS 428 in 1.
Oh, yeah.
Mario
yeah.
game.
Those actually sell really well.
Yeah, like $30, $25-$30
Yeah,
all day.
So let's see. Felix wants to know, where can I get some KayWay merch?
That's another inside joke. I've been telling my chat we gotta make some merch, but I just, now that I have somebody that can make logos for me, they can definitely make, the logos for the merch, and then we can go to a store locally and get it done. So
yeah,
that's coming soon. I know they keep telling me, I want KayWay merch. It takes some time to make that stuff, and I want to make sure I do it right. I don't want to just put out like crappy product, especially since I sell clothing. I can't give out crappy clothing to my followers. So
there you go. And Marie's dropping down the link to KayWay's link tree, so check that out for sure down in the description below. Brian wants to know, do you guys ever lose focus when you're taking pictures or listing? If not, how do you stay focused? That's a great question.
All the time.
Yeah, we get unfocused especially being part-time. I'm sure it's a little different with full-timers because you probably have more of a 8 to 5, this is when I'm working or whatever. But something that I do is I listen to podcasts. I like Pure Hustle podcasts. Our friends over at Let's Do Lunch podcast, listen to the girls, and listen to some music, maybe watch some YouTube videos, just kind of helps with the time. What about you, Wayne, Kayla?
Yeah. So she normally does the drafts in the morning, and she's really quick about drafts. So you can draft like 30 items in like 3 hours is pretty much what you're doing.
I'll draft, and then I will go and I'll stop and I'll like do laundry, and then I'll come back, and then I love Grey's Anatomy, so I like the TV show, so I'll go watch for like a few minutes, and then I come back, and then I make lunch, and then I come back. So I go quick clean or do something and come back. So I kind of just stay busy.
And the whole reason I started doing my lives at night, and that's when I do the photo process at night, and I kind of show people what I do. The whole main reason for that is because I don't really like taking photos, and it's better to have somebody to talk to while you do it. So I'm on live, I'm showing people what I do, but I'm also being able to engage in chat and talk to people in chat. So that kind of helped me get around that, whereas I'll take some photos during the day, but then the live at night is really when I have fun getting some listing done.
Nice. And guys, we all know that Dustin's tip of the week, I know we got a little bit off track, but Dustin's tip of the week is brought to you by none other than our good friends over at stickerwise.com. Speaking of merch here, Wayne, this is one of the best places to get stickers. This is where we get our stickers. And if you use the code FLIPPERS, you're going to get 10% off. These are some of the stickers that we had made. This is just like the regular one. And then we got a nice little holographic one. So, Wayne, this is something we've never done before on our show. We have 46 people in the chat. So, Kayla, pick a number 1 through 46. Don't let us know. And guys, people in the chat, write down the number 1 through 46. And Kayla, when you see the first number, let us know down in the chat. And we're going to give away some Nashville Flippers stickers to the first person that gets the correct number.
All right, so, I'm watching.
Courtesy of our friends over at stickerwise.com. Use the code Nashville. Use the code FLIPPERS, and you're going to get 10% off your order. So put down. Do you see it? They all just came rushing.
They all, hold on.
Yeah.
No.
So we have 40.
Oh, yes.
Right
Cat.
Which one is it?
Oh, it's Cat. Yeah.
Cat.
Sunrise Listings. That's my sister. She got it.
Oh, did I miss it? Where's she at here? What number was it?
She was at the top.
Yeah, Sunrise Listings right at the top.
They all came in at once. Look at the times. I don't know.
What was the number?
It's 17. It's under Felix, Bold North, and then Sunrise Listings.
There's quite a few 17.
It came in pretty quick too.
Yeah. So, Kat, if you see it, hit us up on Instagram, give us your address, and we're gonna send you some Nashville Flipper stickers. So check
What's
that
funny
out.
is I do a bunch of giveaways on my live, and I literally take her out of it because I tell people I don't want her to win because it feels like it's rigged, and this feels like it's rigged. My sister won the giveaway.
That's crazy. So, guys, and hey, KayWay, if you want to order some stickers now that you have a great logo, check out Sticker Wise, and you're gonna save 10% off. And they have like the greatest prices. Like when you shop around, it really is some really great prices. So we have our boy Paul the Philly Flipper is in the building, dropping the super chat. Don't tell my wife I sent you this. Paul, are you married and you don't know? So Wayne, really cool thing that all of our, if you don't know, people in the chat, all of our money that we generate through this YouTube channel, through ad revenue and super chats like Paul did, we're saving up money to purchase a Nashville Flippers mobile. So nice. A van that we want to purchase. So that's one of our goals in the near future. So
got
every time we got enough for a hubcap right now. So we're working on the tire. So anytime someone donates something through a super chat, we play this amazing thank you video. So let's take a look. All right. So Paul, thank you so much for the super chat. We do greatly appreciate it. And so that'll get us closer to our goal here, Dustin. You know, that left front tire.
If Paul keeps just, donating every week, we're good.
Yeah.
He's the only one that donates right now.
Exactly. Another thing, if you ever donate, we are going to put your name somewhere on the van. So as a thank you and a kind of like a free advertising, if you will. So
what's the van? Is it for like traveling and like thrifting and stuff like that, or is it just for logo purposes?
For just, we're tired of driving our own cars around everywhere. Yep. So it'd be good to just have a something,
Then if one of our trucks breaks down, we got the van.
Exactly. So Chris at Peak donated super chats, super sticker. So thank you so much. We're not going to play the same video. We got a different one. So stay tuned.
Showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling.
There you go. Thank you so much, Chris. Greatly appreciate it. So, Felix says, play the video. So there you go. Here we go. We're not going to play any more videos, guys. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So thank you so much for donating. We greatly do appreciate it. And all this, again, guys, is your name's going to go on the van, and it's going to be an awesome time. So thank you so much. You guys are very kind to donate to some people like us. So, all right, moving on. And we're gonna hammer through this here at KayWay, because we need to get you to the bed. It's it's one of those things. So for the people that don't know, Dustin and I like to do a segment of the show called Skip or Flip, where we're gonna show our guests something that recently sold on eBay with no context whatsoever, but just pictures, and they're gonna let us know if they were gonna skip or flip. So Kayla and Wayne, are you ready? We're gonna do this together. This is where we learn.
Learning, so I don't know.
This is where we learn. So we have here the first one up, and Dustin doesn't know these, so people in the chat, let me know, are you skipping or flipping? We have here a nice little Texas Longhorns jacket. The back looks incredible. We got the Longhorns stampeding. We got Texas Longhorns on the back. Look at the sleeves are looking incredible with Bevo on there. And then the UT, the fake UT on the front of the jacket, white jacket. So, Wayne, if you see this at a yard sale, thrift store, garage sale, what are you doing?
Flipping it. I actually just listed a vintage chalk line, Larry Bird jacket. Has the big hit on the back, Celtics. That one had a little bit of damage, so I listed that one for 100. But this is a college team one, I believe. So that would be a little bit more rare than the Celtics one. And I'm going to say this one sold for around $200.
Okay. Dustin, what are you doing? Are you skipping or you flipping?
I'm grabbing because it's vintage all day.
Ooh, okay. Now, Kayla.
But I would have like just that gut wrenching because it is the not real UT.
The fake
so,
UT, yeah. Not the University of Tennessee, but the fake orange. Kayla, what would you be comfortable paying for this jacket?
180.
180? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're willing to pay up, thinking it's selling for 300. What did you say, Wayne?
I think it's going to sell for like around 200, maybe a little bit more.
Okay. So no, I misunderstood.
Okay.
So how much would you pay for it?
How much would I pay for it? I don't know.
Throw out a number.
$60.
$60.
There
All
you
right.
go.
All right. And you're thinking, Wayne, this is 200 plus jacket all day long.
Yeah.
Just from your experience of looking at this jacket, selling a chalk line. So chalk line's a great brand. So as a lot of people know, and we have a lot of people, the whole chat is saying we're flipping this sucker. We're making money. Legine is saying, I was just about to say chalk line, LOL. So Wayne, this amazing looking, look at the back of this jacket. Incredible looking jacket. So this jacket just sold on eBay for, hit the wrong button. Just sold on eBay for $317. So pretty good. Pretty good.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. So Dustin, would you be wearing? No, because it's a fake UT. You don't want to wear that. No. All right. And next one up, Kayla and Wayne. This is a good one. How are you with vintage toys, Wayne?
Not very good. I mean, I don't sell
Ooh.
many vintage toy items.
All right. Here we have a nice little action figure. It's got a little tag on here. It says Portrait of Mondo Gecko. Okay. It's got a little like lizard guy with his little skateboard here. Here's some other pictures. That's what he looks like on the skateboard. So Wayne, if you see this at a thrift store or yard sale, are you skipping? Are you flipping? What are we doing here?
Well, he looks like he's complete. And I know like with a lot of these toys, if they come with like both parts, it looks like the skateboard separates. So I know a lot of times those pieces get split up. And then if you have both of them together, it makes the item worth more money. Obviously, if that was at a yard sale, it wouldn't probably be priced really high. You'd be paying like $1 maybe for it. So I might pay $5 for that. What it sells for, $50. I'll throw out that.
$50. Okay. Now, Kayla, are we picking this up? What are you doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe like $5-6 if I were to pick it up, since it has everything.
Okay. And what do you think it's selling for?
35.
35. Okay. Now,
Watch
Dustin,
this
what are we
video.
doing here? Now, Dustin, are you cheating? Are you looking at your phone?
No,
trying
I'm not.
to comp?
I
You
had
see
a
your
cell
glasses.
come-
You can
I
see
had
the
a cell
reflection.
Yeah, we
I
can
had a
see the
cell come through.
reflection
It's
of your
all right.
glasses here.
Had a cell
So-
come through. It's okay.
All right. So what are we doing here, Dustin? What's your thought process on this little?
I'm probably getting this out of a grab bag from good old Goodwill. I have no idea what this is. I'd have to look it up.
Me
But
neither.
Never heard of it. Never seen it in my life. But it's probably like one of those like crazy $100 like 2-inch figures. So we'll go with.
You flipping?
Yeah, I'll flip.
What are we?
This-
How much is it going for?
I'm gonna say I'm around $100. It's probably one of those crazy figures that's like $100.
Okay. All right. Now, Matter Frog Vintage is saying flip. TMNT.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That changes
Teenage
everything.
Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
300.
All right. So this figurine, this action figure, just recently sold on eBay for $6.50.
Dang it.
Well,
So this isn't one of the rare ones. So, but we do want to give some sort of value. Here's a good one to look out for if we're talking TNMT. This is, here we go, Ninja Turtle with the, I guess the basketball with the number 23 on the jersey. No basketball. Sold for $710
oh my god.
at an auction. So again, not all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are built alike. Just like everything else, some are worth more than others. Don't pick up Mondo the Gecko, but I would advise you pick up the Slam Duncan Donatello. So there you go.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. Like always, Wayne, do you use Google Lens at all?
Yep. A lot of times when I pick up golf club polos, they have our golf polos. They have a golf club embroidered on the front, and an easy way to find out what golf club that is, because some are more sought after, is you use Google Lens and you just take a photo of the golf club, and then you can look up exactly which one it is.
There you go. There you go. All right. Dustin is saying, I have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle listed right now for $200. So that's awesome. That's a great find, especially if you got it for cheap. So, Kayla, Wayne, what is your glass knowledge? Do you pick up any kind of glass? Vases, anything?
I don't even want to try to ship a really fragile glass item. I'd rather pass. I know there's tons of money in glass, but I normally pass.
Okay. So here we have a nice little vase, a little blue. What'd you say, Dustin? Turquoise, if you will.
Turquoise.
A little turquoise here. So this is a nice little flower vase. You can put flowers in it. If you don't have flowers, maybe you can put some incense in there or something. I don't know.
Put some beer in it.
Put some beer in it. Yeah, a nice little chalice. So on the bottom, if you can't read it, it says Fiesta USA on the bottom of this vase. So what's your thought process here, Wayne?
It looks like a vase.
Flip it. Let's just flip it.
Yeah. If I'm going again, this is something at a garage sale that, if I'm going to pay for this, I'm only going to pay like $1 for it. Again, I don't like messing with these things because they're pretty hard to ship. Well, they're not hard to ship, but you just got to make sure you ship them correctly because you don't want them breaking in shipment. What it's going to sell for? Oh man, I know some of these can be worth a lot. That's made in USA, so I'm assuming it's vintage, maybe worth a good amount of money. I'm going to go that it's going to sell for $75.
Okay. We're having some people. Look at this. Does this guy even call himself a reseller? So
That's
she might know something you don't know here. The whole chat's going crazy, Wayne. They're saying Fiesta, flip, Fiesta wear, flip, Fiesta wear. Turquoise is a rare color for Fiesta. Are you aware? This chat's giving you a hard time, Wayne.
Never heard of it. But now we know. Hopefully.
Now we still haven't showed you what it's worth. You're saying it's worth $70-something bucks. You're paying.
Now I'm going to say it's worth $700 just because the chat's going off.
Huh? So Dustin's over there comping Fiesta wear vases. Dustin, what are you doing? You flipping or you skipping?
I'm gonna look it up because I've seen glassware like vintage Pyrex stuff like that go for thousands of dollars. So I might as well look it up.
But if you can't look it up, Dustin, you forgot to pay your cell phone bill. Cricket is hounding you. Your credit score is getting tanked, and you can't look it up. You gotta go off of your gut. What are you doing?
I'd probably pay up for a couple bucks.
Couple bucks?
Yeah, okay. Paying up.
All right.
It might be one of those $1,200 vases though. Okay. It might.
All right. So this vase. Fiesta wear vase recently sold on eBay for $1,100.
Okay, Fiesta's on our list next time.
Right on.
Yeah. State sales. What's their Fiesta wear?
Vintage Fiesta wear. So if you didn't know,
$5.
Oh yeah, Dustin, that's good. So if you didn't know, Fiesta wear, vintage Fiesta wear, be on the lookout. Bolo. See, Wayne, this is what we do on the show. We always like to show people some things that you just never knew that was worth money. So, and Fiesta wear is something you definitely need to look out for.
That would slip through the Goodwill cracks.
Yeah. Oh, just imagine how nervous you would be shipping that though for that price.
I'd hand deliver it. I would hand deliver that in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
I would take for sure global shipping off though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it would have to be an insane bubble wrap. I mean, it would be
Insane bubble wrap, box in a box in a box.
floating box, like one of those Russian dolls, Dustin.
Yeah,
Yes,
you hand deliver
absolutely. Yep, hand delivered.
and hand deliver. Keeps it up for time.
Yeah. I mean, it could be any, like this one's $900. Amazing looking stuff. And again, on the bottom, it usually says Fiesta made in the USA. So we'll just take a look at this nice little teapot, shortened spout. I don't think it has a little, look at that collection.
Insane.
Dude, that's someone's retirement right there.
That's
probably
insane.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, all right. So, guys, that concludes Skip or Flip, one of the favorite segments of the show. So, Wayne, did we learn something today?
Definitely.
We're looking for Fiesta now.
Yeah, we're gonna start going to estate sales in the near future, and we're looking at the pots and pans now, and all the Fiesta. We're looking for Fiesta ware.
We got that right. Cat saying is Fiesta the new item on the top of your bucket list now?
Guess we're gonna have to add it up there.
Yeah. So now we know. Let's see here. Look for Fiesta with a lowercase f. It's older and generally better flip price. That's great information. Matter of Frog Vintage. Great information. So, Wayne, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. So thank you so much for answering Skip or Flip questions. We learned something. We always like to provide value here on the Nashville This Week in Reselling. So last question of the day, and I can't remember who said it earlier, but we always like to end the podcast with some goals. What is Wayne? What is Kayla? What are your goals for this year, business-wise, personally-wise? Maybe you want to lose a couple pounds. That could be one of your goals. Let us know. What are some of you guys' goals?
Ray just called me fat in front of everybody.
I know. Hey,
100%.
Your boy's got to lose a couple pounds here. So I'm just telling what I need to do. Reinforcing what I need to do.
I heard what you said. I heard it 100%.
I know.
I need to lose a couple pounds. I guess that's one of my goals now. I got to lose a couple pounds. I don't know. I always like seeing the numbers go up every year. I don't really set my goals like too crazy high. I think every year if I do like 25 grand more in sales as I did the previous year and I keep growing it that way, especially with just us two working, would be fine. Once we start hiring on employees, then that number needs to increase because I need to, equate for the money I'm spending for employees and all that good stuff. So for this year, sales, 25 grand more than I did last year, that'd be perfectly fine for me. When it comes to social media, I'd like to grow my platforms pretty decently this year, especially since I'm inputting a lot more into them as opposed to previous years. So I'd like to see YouTube grow, and the growth on YouTube has been really good for me. I'm under 2,000 subs right now, but I just really started putting up my live thrifts on YouTube, and that's been growing pretty well. So now that we're going to start putting out like full length YouTube videos, I think it'll start growing a lot quicker. I also don't see anybody putting up live thrifts on YouTube and doing it there's some people that do it on TikTok, but I don't see anybody moving it from TikTok to YouTube. So I'm kind of in my own lane there. So if that potentially takes off, I can see it, the growth being really quick and really fast. Keep doing the things I'm doing on TikTok because the growth is really good over there. Yeah, I think that's like my goals, like simple goals. I don't like setting myself like, $1 million goal that I'll never achieve. I like small goals. Like if I would say followers this year, I think I can hit 100,000 followers by the end of the year on TikTok. And that's one of my goals. And then the other platforms will be lower, like 10,000 on each of the other platforms would be good enough for me. What's your goals? What do you have this year?
I would like to learn more of the women's brands and just be more comfortable with it. Like I always look things up every time because I don't know. So everything I touch, I'm like, all right, let's look it up. I want to just be able to go to the store and just know like, okay, this is good. I can take it and know like the price to buy it at. Cause I don't know that stuff yet. So that's one of my goals.
Yeah.
Get that down and figure out TikTok. I just figured out how to use it like a month ago. So I'm still very new.
Yeah. We're going to start
figure that out.
integrating her into TikTok too on her own channel because it's cool to see somebody that like knows what they're doing, like where I'm at. But I think people can also learn from somebody who's just starting to learn the brands, and people can take that information. Like people in chat, if she does a live thrifts, people in chat can help her with some of the brands, and other people can learn from that information too. So it'll be like a brand new learning experience. Whereas like my channel is more for like people to come and ask me questions about what I do.
Yeah, because I don't want to be like asked a question. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm still learning. I want to be able to answer the questions.
Yeah, but it's great. You know, you're honest, you know, and people can learn. You know, it's almost like you're learning with everybody. You know, so it's kind of a cool little thing there. So Chris has a good point. His goal is to watch more This Week in Reselling. Which
Chris is the
fantastic.
best plug. Chris literally plugs everything for me. He just jumps in my chat and he'll just plug everything. Chris is the ultimate plug.
So subscribe, like, you know, listen to it, all the good stuff. We have the best guests, guys. You have to understand. You know, Kayla was saying, learn more about women's brands. I mean, we've had so many women on here that's all they sell. And in March, we have a full-time teacher turn reseller that just sells women's brands. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be amazing. She quit her teaching job to become a full-time reseller. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be great.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's see here. We had some great comments here. Lawnman Flipper says, I'm a newbie and KayWay and family has been a great help and big source of information. So there you go. And then the 856 Flipper says, I love reselling and you guys are inspirations and I watch both of your videos. A lot of people say it's social media platforms where you make all your money. What do you say about that? That's a great question. Do you want me to answer it? Then you can.
Yeah, you go first.
So your boy's not making any money here, guys. We're not making any money. Like Dustin was just saying, you know, we barely have enough for hubcap, but we're looking up, you know, but the money that we do make is through sponsorships and other ways, you know, and these affiliate links that we're plugging, but we want to make sure that we're plugging good affiliates and sponsors of the podcast that provide some sort of value. That's why our reseller Genie is one of the best people that we want to plug, because that's going to give you guys the tools to become a better reseller. But yeah, February 1st, YouTube is going to start monetizing shorts a lot better. So maybe your boys are going to be going with the supersized meals at McDonald's instead of the regular ones.
Might be able to get a Mercedes van. So,
ooh, a Sprinter. There you go, Dustin.
Yep.
Nice. So, what about you, Wayne?
I think there's potential to make money from platforms, but people don't understand, like, unless you have some random hit of luck where you go from 0 to 1 million really fast, like something's got to happen that makes it happen. It's a long grind. You can potentially make good money from social media, but the reason I do social media is, and I tell this in my live all the time, I learned from people that gave the information away for free to me. So I feel like it's only right that I give the information back to the community. And I don't know everything, but the cool thing about having a community is, in my lives, when I got like 300 people, 200 people over on TikTok, I don't know the answer. There's people in the chat that know the answer, and everybody can learn from that experience. So, but I mean, I see potential down the road, but it's not like it's going to happen anytime soon.
There you go. There you go. So, like, yeah, that's a great point. Even certain people have their certain niches that they want to like sell. You know, if you want to go to clothing, you hit up Chris at Peak, you hit up Jason, you hit up KayWay. You know, you want to learn about glassware, you hit up other people. You know, just certain people have their certain niches. We're all learning together. So that's great. So, yeah. So this is it. End of the podcast. We almost hit the two hour mark.
Almost.
But this podcast, guys, has been filled with incredible knowledge, incredible value. So do us a favor, guys. If you like this podcast and you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel or hit the follow button on the podcast, do so. Leave us a review. It helps us, pushes us in the YouTube algorithm, the podcast algorithm. So anything else for the people, Wayne? Kayla?
Titans are winning the Super Bowl next year. I'm calling it, and then we can
love it.
We can go back to this video and we can all be sitting here talking about how Titans won. So I'm going to call it next year win the Super Bowl. That's
there
it.
You go.
And then go follow me on all platforms. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. I do TikTok lives every night at 9:30, and I just list stuff in the light boxes behind me and talk to chat. And then In the mornings, I'm live both on TikTok and on Facebook at the same time, and we're shipping right from here, from this desk. I go over my sales, tell you what I paid for it, all that good stuff, and show you how to ship. So if you're interested in some shipping videos, Facebook or TikTok.
There you go. There you go. All right.
Titans and Vikings next year.
Titans and Vikings Super Bowl. I like it. I like it.
That's
So
good.
Dustin, anything else for the people?
Eat your glizzies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Eat your glizzies, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, guys, next week we're gonna have Old School Picker on. We have Chris, Old School Picker, is gonna be our guest for next week. So stay tuned for that. Great guy. He's full of amazing information. And then the following week we're gonna take the weekend off because guess what? It's the Super Bowl. So we're going to take the week off and stay tuned for that. So, guys, we greatly appreciate it. Kayla, Wayne, thank you so much for coming on, for blessing us with your knowledge, your just ability to help people. And this was fun. This was fun. We need to do it again. We need to do it again for
Definitely.
sure.
Definitely.
So, all right, guys. So, like always, my name is Ray.
My name's Dustin.
And we are Wayne.
And Kayla.
And what's the tagline again?
That's the KayWay.
And that's the KayWay.
And that's the KayWay. There you go. See you on the flip side. God bless.
Yeah.